Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Today, I'm sharing some lessons learned at an auction. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. I love auctions. Now, you may not know a lot of things about me, but you're about to learn one. I love auctions. Pretty much any kind of auction, but the best kinds of auctions for me are ones where I care about the stuff being sold. Sort of makes sense. And the favorite auction for me is an antique tractor auction. Now you learn something else about Kevin. I collect antique tractors and antique farm toys. Yes, that's what I do. I recently was at an auction and got me thinking about some lessons I'm going to share with you today. Good news, there'll be no lessons about equipment, about colors of paint or anything like that, except for maybe the equipment between our ears. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let me tell you, here's the first thing. The first lesson that isn't just about auctions, but that you can learn from auctions is that you need to do your homework. Yeah, if you're going to bid, you should probably pay attention. You should probably have thought about the items. You should have got there soon enough to watch and look at what's being sold. If it's something that you're interested in, did you look at it closely enough? Is it really as collectible, perhaps, as you think it is? Do you know what you're bidding on? You need to do your homework at auctions and in life. And when you do your homework, it allows you to be ready for the moment that your item goes up for sale, which means, and leads us to the second lesson, which is decisiveness wins. In the moment, you've got to be ready to decide. You can't be waiting. While you're waiting and trying to decide, sold has happened and you missed your chance. Decisiveness wins. You got to be decisive. And if you've done your homework and done some planning, you can be more decisive. Next lesson is the value of focus. Now, if you've never been to an auction, you might find it hard to listen to those auctioneers. I love the sound of a really good auctioneer as they do their work, almost working their magic to encourage us to bid and to do it in such a quick, repetitious manner. Now, you might find that odd or whatever, but here's the point. If you want to stay abreast with what's going on, you have to focus. You can't be having a conversation with your friend and then where's the bid? What happened? What was the winning number? No, you got to focus. And just like in the rest of our lives, right? When we stay more focused, we're more productive. When we stay more focused, we get more done. When we stay more focused, we're more successful. Next, there's a psychology involved in auctioning, like a lot of psychology, really. But I want to talk about the psychology of winning. Now, a person who goes to auctions and likes to buy things at auction has hopefully done their homework and they're ready to be decisive. But in the moment of the bidding, oftentimes they're ready to go a little bit further. Suddenly, it's not just about the item, it's about winning. And so the psychology of winning is important in our lives. The psychology of winning in an auction is, if you want to be more effective in auctions, know your ending number and don't deviate. It'll help you be more decisive, but it'll also help you deal with this psychology of winning. Are you trying to win the item, or are you just trying to win? Are you trying to win the argument, or are you just trying to win? Is it about the decision, or is it about your ego? The psychology of winning. Next, the energy of the community. Now, when you go to an auction of any sort of thing, there's a community around whatever the items are. In the case of the antique tractor auction, it's people that all care about this sort of thing. And there's kind of a buzz about it, and there's a community, and there's a commonality. I don't use that word community lightly because that's what I feel. Now, there's an energy as well just at an auction, in part because of that magical work that the auctioneer does. But there's a lesson there about gathering people that care about something in common, that have something in common. And there's an energy that can be created in that moment, the energy of the community. The next lesson is, out of the auction itself now, right? It's that there's learning everywhere. Learning is everywhere. You might have thought this at the start and say, what the heck's he going to talk about an auction that applies to my life? And yet every one of these points that I've made have lessons for us far beyond what happens at an auction. Learning is everywhere. I've talked about it often. We've done a whole series of episodes where I've connected odd items to leadership, proving to you that leadership and learning is everywhere. And lastly, the last lesson at any auction is remember to bring your checkbook, because if you don't bring your checkbook, you're probably going to not leave with anything at all. And man, that would just be a shame. Let me close with today's tweet. There are leadership and life lessons to be found at an auction. Go to, watch, and learn, even if you don't buy anything. Well, you learned a couple things about Kevin in this episode. And if you subscribe to our daily email that I write 5 days a week, you're probably going to learn more about me. But hopefully, much like this episode, you'll get some insights, not just about Kevin, but about leadership and life. You'll get ideas, you'll get information, you'll get inspiration in the daily email. It's free. You can sign up with the links right here in this page. I hope you'll do that. And I hope to see you next week right here for another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.